this computer. So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to COS 1511. It's a Friday night, and we have Chantel out here. So, welcome, Chantel. And your question to me, Chantel, is what does the C out STETW do? You are having difficulties with that, right, Chantel? So, you'll notice in line number 54, 55, 56, I've got set W12, I got the word depart, I got C out, I got set W8, and I've got the word arrive. Now, my best friend to find out what set W does is Google. But if you don't know and don't have Google, you can always start with SETW, and believe it or not, the compiler, the C++ code block compiler, tells you a little bit about what is setw. So Chantal, if I had to read out here, it says setw, it has an int n as a parameter. This refers to the width. So it's sent to a stream object, the manipulator calls the width for that object. If you want to find out more about what setw does, I can click on the hyperlink to setw, right? So let's say setw, and there's examples for you, all right? If that doesn't work, Chantel, you can always check with Google. You can ask Google, our best friend, google.com, and Google says, what is setw in google.com, and what is setw in C++? There we go. What is setw in C++? Setw is a C+ manipulator, which stands for set width. It basically helps set the field width used for output operations. So if I want to have it nice and neatly set out in columns, the row must be one column here, one column there, and so forth, I can use setw. The function takes member width as an argument and needs a stream where this field has to be manipulated or inserted. So you can go on reading what is setw all the way there.
Sir,
yes. Yes, Chantal?
Sir?
Yes.
So does it mean that the numbers that we're putting inside setw's, those are like the distances that we allowing?
Yes,
like
you could say
maybe
that.
14 inside, 12 inside.
Yes, you could say that. You could say that, right? So let's run this program, and we're going to try it with various options for setw. So out here, I'm going to run my program, and oops, I made a mistake, syntax error. All right, let's run the program, and I'm going to try it out. So I'm running my program. It says, welcome to COS 1511 flight booking system. And it says, enter full name. Let's go and enter Chantal, M-A-T-U-M-B-A, Chantal Matumba. Enter. Oh, look at that, Chantal. Isn't that nice? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is one below each other. Check it out. Depart, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 13, 15. 5, 9:30, 11:30, 13:30, 15:30, 17:30. Doesn't it look nice and pretty, Chantal?
It does.
It does. It does. It does. So now, if we had to change these values around, and you see setw, I'm not going to put 2, I'm going to put 1, and I'm going to put down 8, and I'm going to put down 3, and I'm going to play around with these values, right? I just worked it out by trial and error, and I found out that these numbers work for me. Let's go and compile this, and let's run it, and hopefully it'll give me a change. Ah, look at that, Chantal. Can you see what happened now, Chantal? There's the 1 and 2. It's off. It's off. It doesn't look right, does it?
So
yeah, it doesn't look right now. It's not too good, right? So let's go and put it back to setw, the set width to be 12, and set width from here to be 8. 8.
Mhm.
So it's just to make it look nice and pretty, Chantal. That's about
Mhm.
it, right?
Okay.
Okay, so let's
Thank
go
you,
and
sir.
compile it.
But sir, is there something that has to be done like after probably changing a program? Is there something like maybe I don't know, is it renaming it that changes it or just maybe recompiling it? Is that what I have to do if it's not working?
It all depends, Chantal. The reason we compile the program is for the computer to take my code in C++ and convert it into an executable file.
Mm-hmm.
That's what compiling does.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the computer
Yes,
program
sir.
has errors in that, whether you compile it 1, 2, 3, 4
Mm-hmm.
times, it's not going to give you a correct answer
Mm-hmm.
because there's errors inside it. All right? So you'll notice when you ask
Okay,
me
sir.
the question about compiling, can you see it change the word to assignment03.exe? That's an executable file. That's what compiling
Mm-hmm.
does. Now, before you compile, you must
Yes,
make
sir.
sure that you have, no logical errors and all of that goes with it. But compiling also helps you to find those errors. Okay, right. So does it
Okay, sir.
answer your question about what happens with the set W? Right? Can you see how it
Set
all
W.
looks nice and pretty
Yes,
out
sir.
there? Right? All looks nice and pretty.
Yes, sir.
Last week, Friday, we also discovered that we need to use getLine because we had a person's name and their
Mm-hmm.
surname in there. Okay? So we also
Mm-hmm.
last week we did was we went and worked out and said that listen, if I had to put in the number 9, it's going to validate it and say it's an incorrect option. I think you remember this, right? 9 is incorrect,
Yes.
8 is incorrect, but number 1 it says it's
Mm.
correct. Now, if you look at the output that I have on screen, Chantal,
Ooh. Mm.
oh, was that a good reaction or not a good reaction?
Yes, it was, sir. It was.
Oh, okay. I'm happy for that, right? So if I look at my output on screen, I basically have the following output. And if I look at my question, right? My question goes something like this. Here's my question. It says, I need to display ticket information to someone. And the ticket information says,
Mhm.
travel ticket for the flight. The name of the person is Chantal Matumba. The travel ticket is supposed to be first class, but I didn't work that out as yet. The seat number, it's supposed to be D6, but I don't have that worked out as yet. It says departure is from
Mhm.
Johannesburg, the destination is Cape Town. Oh, that's what I have out here. The departure time is 7 o'clock and the arrival time is 9:30. Ah, there we go. Departure time is 7 o'clock, arrival time is
Mhm.
9:30. And then it's got amount. Well, I didn't work that out either. It says, thank you for booking with cost 1511. Your travel agent for queries is e-tutor Prinavin. Okay, that I shouldn't have had e-tutor Prinavin. It says the travel agent for the queries is Annie Matthew. So that's what you should ultimately
Huh?
attain, right? But what's missing from
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
solution is the following. It says, choose the time by entering the option. Below that, it says the available seats for are as follows. First class, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5,
Mhm.
A6. Now, in order to answer that part of the question, you need to have went through the example of two-dimensional arrays. Okay? I don't know how far you got with that, but that's what's
Okay.
missing from this program. Right? I try to make it as simple as possible so that you see the output from what they give to us. Okay?
So we don't need to be writing all those things. We don't have to have the
No,
A's.
you'll have to have
Oh,
that. You have to have that. That's
oh,
also
okay,
there.
okay, okay.
Yeah. But
It has to
like I
come.
said,
They
I'm
have to
here
come
to
out.
help you. I'm here to help you
Mhm.
and guide you in the right direction. I'm here to tutor you. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm not here to give you the answers. That's
Yes, sir.
what you must, it must come from you. It must come from within you. I'm supposed to
Mhm.
put you in the right direction. Okay, Chantal?
Mhm.
Right. So what other question you have? Now you have to have it just like this. Or similar to what they have, right? Because that's where you're going to get your marks.
Mhm.
And they even give you a hint. They tell you that they're giving you marks for a two-dimensional array. They're giving you marks
Yeah.
for a one-dimensional array. They're giving you marks for a void function with reference parameters. And that's what I'll talk about today, right? Reference parameters. They're giving you for value parameters. I'll show you what's a value parameter and what's a reference parameter. They're giving you a mark for the switch construct. I have the switch construct as well. They're giving you a mark for the while loop. I've got the while loop. The do while, I don't have the do while. The for loop, I haven't used the for loop, and I haven't passed an array as a function, an argument. So that's the hint as to what you need to do in order to answer this question. Okay. Chantal, you okay? Are you with me?
Yes, I'm okay. I'm
Okay.
here.
Great, great. So I'm going to go to my main program now, and I'm going to see what I have out there in the main program, and there it is. Now, this is a very simplified version of what the program should ultimately look like, Chantal. You'll notice in my main program, which my main module, I call it my main man. It starts around about line 100. And I've declared a few variables, first name, departure time, and arrival time. Now, this is just one interpretation of how I think that you should answer the question. You could have also put the departure time and the arrival time into an array. That's what some students have told me. Some have told me they put it into the struct and they've taken it from there, right? Now, I do have a struct definition right on the top. If you look at my struct definition, there's my struct, and inside my struct, I've got records out there. But I haven't used it as yet because I'm taking you slowly into getting the solution to this, right? So let's go back. It says in line number 101, it says welcome. And here I am passing across a parameter. Now, in the rubric, they tell me that I have to pass across reference parameters. And they are giving me marks for that. So if I look at the rubric, there's a rubric. It has a rubric out here and it says, somewhere I read it, it says, there we go, a void function with reference parameters. They're giving me 2 marks for that. Okay, it's not many marks, but it's 2. 2 is better than 0 marks. And in order to declare a reference parameter, Chantal, you need to put a little and sign in front of it. So there's my little and sign, right? Let's go here. There we go, in line number 30. So in line number 30, you should see it saying welcome string. Well, that's a special name given to that. It's called epsilon or something to that effect. What is this? Let's go to my friend Google. How do we pronounce that? What is and what does this mean? Let's see. Oops. It's used in English. It derives from the word et, which means and. The icon is known as ampersand. It is widely used in English, but what does it mean in C++, right? The ampersand sign. So the ampersand in C++. So the ampersand in C++ means it denotes a reference instead of a pointer to an object. So the ampersand sign, which is our and sign, actually tells me that it's a reference parameter. But what's so important about it being a reference parameter? What? The reason it's a reference parameter is that whatever happens inside lines 31, 32, 33, 34, remember last week and the week before we used get line? That value of f name, which is first name, is transferred to the main program. So at line number 101, when it comes out, I still have the name Chantal Matumba. And in line 102, when I am passing across the parameter, or in line number 103, I'm passing it across, that means it still keeps its value of the word Chantal and the word Matumba. Chantal Matumba is passed
And
across.
also the time I chose.
Yes, okay, that'll be in the next function, right? Display flight time. It's right now, it's telling me it's a void function, and there's the parameter and departure time ampersand arrival time. Okay, so let's look at the next one. So you must see this is a rather simplified version to help you to get it, because this is modular programming. This is how you must program. You write functions and functions and functions, and you call each one up. So let's look at my welcome function, which I did last week. Here's my welcome. All it's doing is it's getting the name and it's passing it across. Okay. And the reason I need to pass this across, Chantal, is because in the, I'm calling it the display, the output, I need to say that the ticket was for Chantal, the travel time, and yes, Chantal Matumba, and I need to have her going from Johannesburg to Cape Town. And you'll notice I am passing across departure time. Now let me see, where do I get departure time from? I actually get departure time from line 102, where it says display flight time is a module, it's a function. I need to get the departure time and the arrival time. Now, I could also take these times and put them into my struct, which you'll notice on the top out here, I actually have it set out here. I'm going to put it out here, arrival time, right? But we're going to get to that later on. For now, all I want you to get to understand is how do I pass across these parameters? So let's look at it again. In line 102, it says display flight time, departure time, and arrival time. Let's go to where it happens. This is where it happens. It happens out here. It says in line 51, display flight time, departure time, and arrival time. Now, you know, I told you about the reference parameter and the ampersand. There we go. It's string ampersand departure time, string ampersand arrival time. Well, inside we have the value with the integer choice, and it says see out the available time for the flights are, and line 54, set W depart, set W arrival, which you asked me earlier on. Okay, Chantal? All this you've seen 2 weeks ago. 2 Fridays ago, we did this, and we were playing around with it, and we weren't able to get it nice and uniform, but now we got it with the set W. Here's the other programming structure that they're using, a while loop, in line number 63, which you know how to do, or you should know how to do. This is the validation.
Yes, I know.
If you look at line number 67, they're talking about a switch statement. If I had to type in 1, it's going to say that the departure time is 7 o'clock and the arrival time is 9:30. If I had to punch in 2, the departure time is 11 o'clock, the arrival time is 1:30. If I had to enter in 3, my departure time is 1 o'clock and my arrival time is 3:30. If I had to, you get the picture, right, Chantal? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, I get it.
We did this last week. Remember, we were playing a joke and we said Vincent has to go early because he wants to, he's going in the lunchtime because he wants to have breakfast with his wife. Remember that joke?
Yes.
Okay. That was a joke. You should have, laughed, but it's okay. It's okay, Chantal. So, all right. So that's what happens there. Now, when I come out of the switch statement, Chantal, I am going to have the value of 7 o'clock and 9:30. And those values are going to be transferred in line number 51 to the values in line number 102 out here. So it has departure time of 7 o'clock and 9:30. Then in line number 103, when I am passing across those parameters, it keeps those values and it transfers it to display ticket. And I just made this into a little function, simple function. And I have three parameters: first name, departure time, and arrival time. It will keep the value of Chantal Matumba, and it'll keep the value of 7 o'clock and arrival of 9:30. So that's what happens in this. Now, the important point in tonight's lesson is that we are using reference parameters in order to transfer data between functions. That's the whole aspect of reference parameters.
So
okay,
we don't
Chantal?
have to like retype everything, which we can just use reference parameters.
You can think of it like that, and you also are using modular programming, right? You are modular in your programming. Okay, so that will answer some of the questions from the assignment, some of the rubrics. It says, are you using a switch statement? Yes. Are you using a while loop? Yes. Are you using void functions with reference parameters? Yes. Well, if you had to use value parameters, a value parameter does not have the ampersand in front of it. It does not have this and sign. So if I had to take that out, then f name in line number 37 is a value parameter. That means it goes into the function, it's used in there, and it's not transferred or it's not referred to in the main program. Okay, that's the value parameter. But for now, I'm using a reference parameter. I make it like a little rule of thumb. If you're not sure about what parameter to use, simply make it a reference parameter. Right? Rule of thumb.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So if you told me that you haven't done much in terms of your program, I would like you to practice this. I'll tell you quietly, I can send this to you on WhatsApp or some things, because you joined me for tonight's lecture, and you can try it out and you can email it to me, and I will check it for you and see how it goes. All right? But you need to also implement. Oh, it made a buzzing sound. You think someone's on the waiting room? No, there's no waiting room. I disabled that. So, Chantal, you will need to go and read up on structs, read up on two-dimensional arrays, because that is how you are going to implement the seating plan.
Yes.
And you'll also have to transfer this data that I have into a struct so that it makes your life a little easier. Okay, so one last time, let's see how it works. Enter full name, Chantal Matumba, Matumba. It says the array available times for the flights are, if I look at the flights, I'm going to say 1, and 1 means it's going to take the departure time of 7 o'clock and the arrival time of 9:30, and it's going to now display the ticket for Chantal Matumba. I haven't worked out the travel ticket. If you read the question, it says that there's a first class ticket and there's an economy ticket. And there we go, departure time is indeed 7 o'clock. The arrival time is indeed 9:30. Thank you for booking with cost 1511. Now, all this told me is I've simplified this question for you. I've done the arrival time and the departure time. You will need to work on the seating plan. Right?
So the amount, do I just come up with any amount?
No. The amount is in the question, Chantal.
Okay.
You didn't read the question. The question says that for where's the question here?
196.
192.
1,900.
Something like that. Something like that. It's the cost for the economy class is 1,600, and the first class ticket is 20% more than that. All right. So you're going to work out 20% of the first class travel of the economy ticket. So if the
So
economy
do they expect me to calculate it, or just say 20 times 20%? Do I have to
no,
just
you will
a
have to write
number?
a programming statement in order to do that, right? You'll have to do a programming statement. You have to have a variable that stores the economy class price, which I think I've done on the top, and you multiply that by 20%.
Okay.
So if you look at right on the top over there, there we go. My economy fare is 1,600. That's my constant declaration. You will need to take economy fare and you multiply it by 20%.
20%.
Yes. All right. And I've also helped you with some constant values out here. Right? Travel time the row, travel time the columns. So that will give you a hint that you need to use a two-dimensional array. I've actually taken a problem that's big and that's complicated, and I've simplified it. But
Yes, sir.
so that you can get to grips with it and understand
Mm-hmm.
what's going on, and then you need to expand it, and make it answer the question. All right? But I loved your reaction when you saw the output that said travel ticket for the flight. You thought, oh, I've got the entire answer. The entire answer is no. Right? You need to experience the joy and the thrill and the fun of working with program and, and getting the answer by yourself. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Chantal, it's 10 to. We've been recording for 45 minutes, and plus we were talking before that. I'd like to stop at this point, and
Okay.
I'll stop the recording, but don't leave, and we'll talk a little bit more. All right.
Okay.
Let me just stop the recording, and let's just stop the recording and stop the video. Stop the recording. Let's stop the recording. I've got to learn zoom on, and pressing the key. Stop the share, and
Okay.
so Chantal, let's see. Are we continuing the recording out here? Is it recording? Yeah, Chantal. So thank you, Chantal, for joining us. I can't
Thank you,
help
sir.
you with assignment questions. I'm only going to share the screen with you, and you've seen the output. You've seen where you need to go to.
Yes,
It
sir.
says TUMBA. There's Chantal. It says you see that. That's what you must
Yes.
ultimately reach. Right? The travel ticket
Yes.
time, the seat number, that's what you need to work on for the next week.
Yes.
I'm not going to share anything with you because I'm going to simply make you lazy, and that's not my intention. Right? I want you to struggle a little, and you basically have about 11 days left to work on this assignment. And I don't know, is there an extension on this, Chantal? Is there an extension on this assignment? Chantal, there's no extension, right? There's no extension. It's due on the 31st of August. There's no extension, right? There's no extension. All right, so I'm going to stop at this point. All the best in your assignment, and I hope to see you next week, and you are going to tell me that you've completed the assignment and you've done everything. Okay. Chantal, is that it? Right? Can we say our goodbyes? Okay. Oh, Chantal's gone. Okay. Bye, Chantal. Bye, everybody.